Comfort is a drug, and most people are addicted. It's the silent killer of ambition. It whispers sweet lies in your ear, telling you you've done enough, that it's okay to rest, that tomorrow is a better day to start. But the truth is, every second you stay in that warm bubble of ease, you're getting weaker. You're losing your edge. You're feeding the version of you that's okay with average, okay with excuses, okay with regret. And that version has to die. You can't be unstoppable and comfortable at the same time. They do not coexist. One feeds strength, the other feeds decay. You want to grow? Then get ready to suffer. Get ready to bleed for it. Get ready to show up broken, exhausted, and still find a way to execute. Every person who became great in anything, war, business, fitness, life, they found power in discomfort. They didn't run from it. They hunted it. Because when everything is stacked against you, when your back's against the wall and your body is screaming to quit, that's when the real work begins. That's when your identity is rewritten. That's when you earn the right to say you've become something. You don't get that from comfort. You don't build calluses on your mind from sleeping in. You don't become disciplined from taking it easy. Discipline comes from doing what needs to be done, even when your body, your mind, and everything around you is telling you to stop. You think discipline feels good? You think showing up every single day to do hard, painful, boring work feels good? It doesn't. Most of the time it sucks. Most of the time it's a grind. But that's the price. That's the cost of separating from the herd. Because everybody wants to be great until it's time to do what greatness demands. And it demands everything. It demands your comfort, your excuses, your time, your energy, your blood. And if you're not willing to give that, then don't expect to be anything more than average. You see, all these people chasing motivation like it's some magic pill. But motivation is fleeting. It disappears. The moment things get hard, the moment it rains, the moment you're tired, that's why you need to build a lifestyle based on discomfort. Because when you live in it, when you thrive in it, then nothing can stop you. You become numb to the pain, immune to the excuses, and addicted to the process. That's the difference between the ones who win and the ones who wish. Winners train in the dark. They push in silence. They show up when there's no camera, no crowd, no applause. They don't need validation because they've built something inside that's stronger than outside approval. You got to stop negotiating with your comfort. Stop giving yourself options. Comfort is always going to present itself. It's always going to give you a way out. You're tired? Rest. You're sore? Skip. You're stressed? Quit. But every time you choose comfort, you're reinforcing weakness. Every time you choose the easier path, you're strengthening the part of you that folds under pressure. You want to be unstoppable? Then kill that voice. Starve it. Replace it with one that says, I don't care how I feel. I don't care how hard it is. I'm doing it anyway. Some days it's going to suck more than others. Some days you're going to feel broken. But those are the days that matter the most. Anybody can train when they feel good. Anybody can work when it's sunny. But what about when you're sick, when you're tired, when you're broke, when life has hit you from all angles? That's when most people quit. That's when comfort wins. And that's when you got to dig deep and find the savage inside you who refuses to bow, refuses to break, refuses to be just another name. You got to build your mind like a weapon, harden it, condition it, push it through fire and ice until it can't be shaken. And that only happens through discomfort. That only happens through doing what most people avoid. Cold showers, early mornings, brutal workouts, hard conversations, doing the reps, eating the right food, staying locked in when everyone else is distracted. That's where greatness is built. That's where you level up. In the boring, painful, uncomfortable reps that nobody wants to do, people say they want more in life. They say they want to level up, but they don't want to feel the burn. They don't want to sweat. They don't want to face their demons. But those things aren't optional. If you want more, you've got to become more. And becoming more doesn't happen in comfort. It happens when you confront everything soft in you and rip it out. When you step into pain willingly and say, let's go. When you look your excuses in the face and choose effort anyway, that's how you separate. That's how you become a force. Comfort will tell you to slow down, to relax, to rest for just a little longer. But rest becomes habit. Habit becomes identity. And before you know it, you become someone who only moves when it feels good. Someone who waits for energy, for motivation, for the right time. But the right time is always now. The right move is always forward. And the right mindset is always this: I do what must be done. Period. Every goal you have is standing on the other side of pain. You want the body, you want the money, you want the mindset, then you got to be willing to sacrifice for it. You've got to be willing to show up at 4 a.m. and go to war with the weights. You've got to be willing to say no to comfort food, no to sleeping in, no to toxic people. You got to be willing to be alone, to be doubted, to be misunderstood, because being comfortable is popular, but being unstoppable is rare. And rare comes with a price. You don't have to love the pain. You just have to respect what it builds. You have to understand that every hard rep is taking you one step closer to becoming who you were meant to be. Every time you push when you don't want to, you're stacking mental armor. Every time you suffer with purpose, you're rewiring your brain to handle anything life throws at you. So stop chasing easy. Start chasing challenge. Wake up and ask yourself, what am I avoiding? And then do that. That's the path. That's the grind. That's the way. If you want the life most people dream about, you got to do what most people won't. And that starts with making pain your partner and comfort your enemy. It starts with understanding that growth never comes without a cost. That the most powerful version of you is hiding behind the very thing you're avoiding. You'll find yourself in the darkness, not in the light. You'll find your purpose in the fire, not on the couch. You'll find freedom in the pain, not in the comfort. Let me know if you want me to expand the next keynote. Nobody's coming to save you. That's the reality people run from, but it's the one truth that sets you free the moment you accept it. As long as you believe someone's going to show up and fix your problems, motivate you, or carry you through the fire, you're weak. You're waiting. You're wasting time. Life doesn't owe you anything. The world doesn't care about your dreams, your pain, or how hard your past was. And if you keep sitting around waiting for the perfect moment or the right person to show up and rescue you, you're going to stay right where you are, broken, soft, and average. You got to be your own rescue mission. You got to stand up, look in the mirror and say, I'm all I've got, and that's enough. You were born with everything you need to dominate, but no one's going to activate it for you. You got to dig deep and pull it out yourself. It's on you to become your own hero. It's on you to train like your life depends on it. It's on you to study, to build discipline, to fight through doubt, and to keep going when you feel like giving up. The moment you realize there is no backup, no lifeline, and no handout coming, you start to wake up. You stop playing the victim and start owning every second of your life. That's the first step to becoming unstoppable. You take full ownership of your pain, of your weakness, of your progress, of your life. People love to blame. It's easy. My parents didn't support me. My job sucks. My past was rough. My body hurts. My friends doubted me. That story might be true, but it's still a story, and stories don't move you forward. Actions do. No one cares how you got knocked down. They care if you got back up and did something about it. Life's hard. It was never meant to be fair, but it's yours. And once you accept that you're the only one responsible for your growth, your change, your mindset, then something switches. You stop making excuses and you start making progress. People think they need someone to motivate them every morning, someone to drag them to the gym, someone to keep them focused. But what happens when that person's gone? What happens when no one's texting you to check in, no one's clapping for you, no one's watching your journey? That's when most people quit because they never trained themselves to be self-driven. But if you want to be a savage, if you want to be a weapon, then you got to build that fire from within. You got to become the kind of person who doesn't need a crowd, who doesn't need recognition, who doesn't need help to move forward. You think warriors need cheerleaders? You think soldiers on the battlefield are waiting for someone to tell them good job? No. They act because it's who they are. And that's what you got to become. You've got to become someone who moves forward, whether the world sees you or not, someone who doesn't need support because they become their own structure, their own foundation, their own power source. That's how you separate. That's how you lead yourself. That's how you earn real strength.